I bleed silver and black, and I wear it with pride. Hold my shield to the sky. I'm a raider for life. 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 I'm a raider for life.
Touchdown, Raiders!
I told you so. I told you so. If you guys would just listen to Mikey Raider, you would know what the fuck is happening with the Raiders. Oh, Mikey Raider, all you do is have conspiracies. Mikey Raider, all you do is talk speculation. Mikey Raider, all you do is negative. Well, if you've been paying attention, mother fudgers, the Raiders are a negative organization and they have been for many years. Stop trying to be positive when there's 20 negatives around. Well, a positive and a negative make a charge, Mikey Raider. They make a charge. Yeah, guess what they do? They make a charge to your fucking wallet and they lose. While you support them. Oh shit, I got the Santa hat on. Why? Because it's like Christmas. For me, because I was right. Like I am all the time. And I love you, Murph. I do. Remember on my show, the last time we did a show together? I said, will Davante be traded? And is he becoming a problem in the locker or in general? And you went off on me. Said it was a ludicrous question. Davante ain't going anywhere. Well, I don't know. I'm not here to gloat, but all right, all that egotistical bullshit aside, this sucks. I've been speaking about it for a few days, and we're going to go over the laydown. And if you guys have watched any of my previous videos, especially the last 3 or 5, I broke down the Davante Adams situation multiple times. But really, I did it after this latest hamstring injury. And I did it 3 or 4 days ago. I also mentioned and broke the rumor that Jack Jones was going to be benched. I'm like the ESPN Raider Adam Schefter. Because if you choose to pay attention, all the answers will be revealed. Well, why do I got the Derek Carr jersey on? Because it might be Christmas for him in a little bit. We'll talk about that at the end of today's show. But first off, hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of this channel to help support Buy Me Tacos for hopefully future early and exclusive content. I'm still working on that. I do have donation portals below if you feel like supporting me for my jokes, my good work, my talking Raiders. I'd appreciate it. God bless you. I appreciate you. All right. Let's just talk about the truth of the room. I bought some lube the other day. That's right. Mike Raider got some lube. Because somehow I knew I was going to be fucked. And when I bought it, it was half empty. So I don't know where the other half of the lube went to. Mikey Raider has to buy shit on discount. Because Mikey Raider's broke. But I'm blessed and I'm paying my bills. Why are the Raiders getting fucked? Some would say this other player's getting fucked. But what happened was, and look, it took 4 minutes to get to the news. That's called keeping them waiting. Now I need a fluffer down there. Oh yeah, I'm getting ready. Okay. Davante Adams has told the Raiders organization he prefers to be traded. Oh shit, who didn't know that? Who didn't know that? I'm just going to get this out of the way before we say it. I told you so. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to start with goodness toward Davante. Then we're going to talk about the shady shit he did and whether we should blame the Raiders or him. Let me start with the good stuff about Davante. Davante, you came to the Raiders to build a team with your friend Derek Carr under Josh McDaniels. You did. You said all the right things. You had no control over what Josh McDaniels was doing behind the scenes and the way they released Derek Carr and how everything went to shit. You had no control over that. So in a way, the Raiders organization fucked you with your possibility of trying to become a Raider. They affected you. The drama, the trauma, everything that's associated with this team really got to you. And I'm sorry. I know you made a business decision to come to the Raiders and also try to win a championship with your best friend from Fresno State, but it did not happen. So on behalf of Raider Nation, behalf of the Raiders, I can't even speak on their behalf. The shit our Raiders do sometimes is unfathomable. And they might do something this time that's unfathomable. We'll talk about that. Should I put away the lube? I should. But Davante Adams, on behalf of Raider Nation, and I'm sorry. Sorry. They fucked you. But now, that's why I put the lube away, because, we're done fucking. Now you're fucking us. So you need the lube. So now let's talk about how you're fucking us. And what transpired over the last, people say, oh, it only happened the last couple days. Why? Now it's happened over the last year. Ever since you became a damn diva and you realized you wanted to make more money and become a brand and went out, got a Taco Bell in your house, you did all this other stuff, which is fine. I don't hate on it. Get your paper, baby. Become even more popular. But let's be honest. Why did you request the trade? Because the writing was on the wall. We all knew it, your contract situation, and wide receivers nowadays, they try to get more guaranteed money after their guaranteed money is done. Okay? So let's break it down, then we can get into the nitty-gritty of the hamstring. Davante Adams has a 42 or something $1 million contract next year. But this year, after the third game, and I've said it in other videos, after the third game, his entire guaranteed money, whatever the contract was for like 90 million or 85 million, of his whatever 5-year contract is guaranteed. Like 125 million, probably like 75, 80 million is guaranteed. But after his third game in this season, all that money is paid off. It's paid off. Okay? So now, players want more guaranteed money, and they don't want to get injured. So they do things like Stephon Diggs. Every 3 or 4 years, after his guaranteed money is paid, he goes to another team. He creates a controversy. Oh, I don't want to play here. Josh Allen sucks, blah, blah, blah. Then he goes to another team. Even though he's technically on a contract, they don't want to pay the $40 million, $35 million, whatever's on the final year of the contract. So now that he's traded, whether it be Diggs or whoever, they renegotiate a new contract, maybe a 2-year, a 3-year deal. $30, $40 million, $50 million, whatever it may be, with another 25 or 30 million guaranteed. So then that player now gets basically more guaranteed money. And that's exactly what Davante is doing here by requesting a trade. But the Raiders, sorry about that, my microphone went wild. That's why in the future I'm going to do it on the computer. But what I was saying was that's why Davante Adams is requesting a trade. He wants to get that more guaranteed money, and he's making business decisions. And it is kind of smart. But the writing was on the wall for Davante and the Raiders ever since he started doing all this stuff. Getting on the TV show Receiver, talking about hospital balls and what the like. And I've explained it in multiple videos. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. But again, I was right. I was right. And you were wrong. You lose. Good day, sir. But it sucks. It really, really does. But why did Davante make the decision now? Because let's be honest, he watches the news, he watches our reports, and he knows what's going on with the team inside the building. And he's got a good clue, just like the media does, that this team is possibly not going anywhere, especially with our quarterback situation, and we can barely win games versus the Browns, and we lose games to the Panthers and stuff like that. And all of this is when it all just started to happen. We knew, well, most of us knew before the beginning of the season, Davante should have been, he was talked about being traded by the media. And the contracts and everything was talked about. People didn't want to believe it. Raider Nation has faith. He's a Raider for life. He's a Raider for life. Mikey Raider, guess what? He's a Raider for life. Yes, he still is. But technically, no. You're wrong. You lose. Good day, sir. But for those that have a brain like a detective, like I'm Batman. You know, the latest Batman movie was good. It's like a detective movie. It's really good. I'm a detective conspiracy brain like Batman. Mikey Raider is Batman. And I started talking about it. People don't like to hear it. They don't want to hear bad news. They don't want to think about bad news before it happens. So I get it. That's why everybody yells at me. That's why when I tell you the earth is flat, you're going to be like, what the hell, Mikey Raider? But 20 years from now, I'm going to tell you I was right. But you guys want to yell at me. You know, you want to get mad at me for conspiracy. Just thoughts. Just thoughts. We all have them. Relax. Don't do it. When you want to debunk them, relax. Don't do it. Because guess what? Maybe you're fucking wrong. And again, whatever. I study flat earth theory. I really enjoy it. We don't need to prove the earth is flat. They need to prove it's round. You call the computer graphics, that's what they are. They're graphics on screen. The blue marble, if you call the blue marble picture from the 1960s from NASA, the only company that controls all the images, if you call the blue marble Earth, go ahead. Go ahead. Look at all the pictures of Earth over the years. Google it. They all look different. The lands change. The lands are bigger and smaller. And where's the pictures coming from? The satellite. Well, the satellite's closer to Earth. So even NASA tells you they got to fake the pictures. That's a story for another day. We're getting off topic. That's a rabbit hole. If you guys choose to go down, go down. But that being said, Davante Adams requested a trade. And in the long run, this is going to be good for everybody. As I spoke about the other day, I said it was blasphemy when they came down with the hamstring injury. But I noted that maybe Gardner Minshew will play better because now he doesn't have to worry about his wide receiver getting targets and he can focus on the scheme and the game plan. And I said that in my video, and it happened. But here's where everything gets fucking shady. Davante is fucking shady. Okay? That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it here. Davante, you're a bitch. You did some shady shit, okay? Mikey Raider's going to grab some fucking Cheez-Its because you're being fucking cheesy. And this is family size because Mikey Raider is built like a fucking family. Okay? Ain't no snack size for this big motherfucker. We get family size. Davante, why are you being motherfucking cheesy? Huh? Why are you being motherfucking cheesy, Davante? Why are you being a cheesy bitch? You hear me? Huh, Davante? Why you doing some shady shit? Why you want to make Raider Nation and everybody mad at you when they think about what you're actually doing? Motherfucker. All right. We knew this was on the wall. But you were asked if you wanted to be traded, if you wanted to go to another team, and everything. You were asked about the TV show Receiver that you did, and how you said, I want to get the F out of here, and did that still ring true? You were asked about that in the offseason, and you said, no, of course not. You know, we got Antonio Pierce. I want to build a winner. I want to be a Raider. I'm here, aren't I? If I didn't want to be here, I'd be gone. Huh? Remember that statement? If I didn't want to be here, I'd be gone. Because he controls the power over his situation. And he knows it. He had the power. I have the power to be traded or do whatever the fuck I want to do because I got a Taco Bell in my house. I'm on the weekly K Adams show every Tuesday talking my shit. Antonio Pierce said, talk your shit, smoke your shit. It's the Raider way. So that's what he's doing. But he kept telling Raider Nation to stop or dampen the trade rumors. At every turn, he said a lie. Hey, are you Pinocchio? No, I'm Davante Adams, bitch. Then why is your nose growing? Because I got a Taco Bell in my house, and that shit makes noses grow. It's got chemicals and shit in the cheese. I don't know. But that's where you're being shady and wrong. And all of us saw the writing on the wall. Well, most of us. Then we played the Ravens, and I went to that game. I saw what you were doing on the sidelines. I reported about it after that game. You were getting frustrated. You were not even communicating with any player. You were sitting on the bench alone. There was one moment where you got up, you grabbed Gardner Minshew, and you started throwing passes, or making him throw passes at you, in front of you, back and forth, to tell him, I'm your dude, throw me the ball, and let's do this. It was a projection, and he did. He patted him on the chest and said, let's go, or something like that in that game. Then it turned out good. That was a good moment. But before that, and even after that, he was on the sidelines alone. Like he's been disassociated with the players and the team for basically a year and a half now, regardless of Antonio Pierce is the coach. Then he wears T-shirts during training camp, in press conferences, and hats of every other organization besides the Raiders. And he wears T-shirts that call himself Public Villain, I'm the GOAT, you know, with his number on it. You know, that diva type behavior, that weird cryptic behavior. So something was happening behind here. Okay? Trying to get y'all caught up to date as quick as possible. But then all of a sudden, the Raiders played the Browns. And we got the business decisions comment by Antonio Pierce. And we all knew that we all found out it was about Jack Jones. But a lot of us kind of questioned Davante Adams. Well, Antonio Pierce has probably not had a lot of interaction with Davante. Coaching and training camp, because Davante seems to be making business decisions to not communicate with Luke Getchie or this or that or whatever the problem may be. And they realized it. And there's one play in particular that sticks out to me with Davante, with Gardner. Gardner threw a pass basically toward the middle of the field. Davante ran the opposite way. Now, because he's Davante, they're going to say Gardner threw the wrong pass. Well, let's think about Davante and going across the middle. In the Ravens game, how many times did he go across the middle? Not many. Not many. I mean, literally go across the middle. And he said on the show Receiver, I'm tired of hospital balls. I don't want to end my career. He doesn't want to end his career or get injured. Why? Because he's hoping for another guaranteed money contract. So he already had this in his head. And he wanted to go to a winning organization because he's tired of the turmoil. Both of those things are true. So Gardner throws the ball toward the middle of the field, and Davante runs toward the outside of the numbers, basically like out of field for the sideline catch. And those are all the catches that Davante's been doing this season, for the most part, is those sideline routes, those outside the number routes, and all that. Somebody that's better than me, go Jack Jackson Kruger Sports. Go see how many times Davante actually went across the middle in a route where he was the number one target and not a decoy. Somebody figure that out for me. But Gardner throws the ball on a breaking pattern toward the middle of the field where the player might run and then go toward the middle of the field. Davante continues going outside. Then he looks at Gardner Minshew and goes, people are going to believe Davante. They're not going to believe Gardner because he's not the best quarterback. But I believe Gardner knew that play was for an inside route. And Davante thought that Gardner should know whether, even though it's an inside route, for me to go inside the middle of the field, Gardner should know that Davante does not want those balls across the middle of the field. So Gardner should have had chemistry with Davante, and even though the play call was for Davante to go toward the middle and cut to the middle to the inside, Gardner should have known to throw it to the outside because that's what Davante wanted. People are not even going to look at that play and think about it that way. They're going to blame Gardner. But I spoke about it in my review. I said that was a little weird. Going back to everything Davante is saying about hospital balls and going down the middle of the field and the trade rumors and blah, blah, blah. That was a business decision made by Davante to go against the coaching staff. And Gardner exposed it with that pass because Gardner did the right thing. So that brings me back to why I believe in some form Antonio Pierce did not say a player made a business decision. He didn't say a player in his press conference. He said players, plural, bitch, made business decisions. We all know it was Jack Jones as he was benched. Who's the other motherfucker? Remember the hamstring injury in training camp for Davante Adams for missing camp a lot? Oh, he's a little sore. Remember in one of the preseason games or whatever? Antonio Pierce said he's going to play. If you're healthy, you're going to play. Then all of a sudden, the next day, Davante Adams ain't healthy. He had a hamstring or soreness. Y'all on the path I'm taking you? Are y'all on the path I'm taking you? Are y'all on the path I'm taking you? The writing's on the wall if you choose to see it. Now, that brings us to even more shady shit by Davante Adams. People are going to blame the Raiders. They are. They're going to blame the Raiders. But a lot of blame needs to be placed on Davante for all the stuff he's been saying publicly and doing the opposite at camp and on the field and during practices. So, all of a sudden, what was it, on Friday or Thursday after practice? Davante comes down with a hamstring. And people are like, wow, when did this happen? We have videotape of you on the last route. There's videotape of Davante on the final practice play that he's in, that he runs. There's video of him doing all of that and then walking off the field. Then all of a sudden we get news at the tail end of practice, he injures his hamstring. Okay. We all want to believe it. Damn, that happened at the end of practice. Oh, well, damn. But But then the next day, within 24 hours, Davante Adams is out. He's out for the game versus the Browns. He's out. Wow, within 24 hours? Did you take an MRI? Normally we get information. I play fantasy football. We get information. He's out? What happened? Is it a torn hamstring? A sprained hamstring? What type of hamstring is it? Because you can't prove a hamstring injury unless it's torn or ripped. That's the only way you can prove a hamstring injury. So it's off of the word of the player. Oh, I'm in pain, coach. Oh, it's really stiff. It really hurts. You know, it might be strained. Well, they can't check to see if it's strained. No MRI will tell you if it's strained. It might tell you if it's inflamed because it'll be big and bulging. But technically, that hamstring injury, we didn't find out what it might have been. So it's off of the player's word. But what was really happening when this came down was sometime after the Kay Adams show on Tuesday, on his day off, and she asked him questions about being traded and this and that, about getting the victory and all this other stuff. He started to have some conversations about his life and his career, and he figured the team ain't so good. We barely beat certain teams, and we just got finished losing to the Panthers in a bad direction. Now our coach is airing out the laundry that's going on in the field. This is a train wreck. Might as well get on out of here. Might as well start the process now before week 8 and the trade deadline, so I can get a jump and be traded before week 8 or 9, and then that way I can hopefully go to a playoff team, get a new contract, get new guaranteed money. And you know what? We're playing the Browns, and yeah, I'm going to inform the team that I want to be traded. I don't see us winning a lot of games. You know, they want me to go across the middle. I'm going to get more hospital balls. I'm going to get injured. I can't get injured. I know we're facing the Browns and we can get a victory, but I don't want to get injured because I do want to be traded. And I know I'm going to request a trade soon. So I don't want to get injured. I don't want to play in that game. Coaches, I pulled up limp. Got a little bit of a hamstring. I'm not going to be playing. Can't play. I go to my own doctor. Nah, I know you got team doctors, but I'm going to go home. I'm going to go to my own doctor. Hey, doctor. Doctor. Give me the news. I got a bad case for wanting to be traded. Doctor. Tell the Raiders that, I'm out for the game. I got a really bad hamstring. Hey, Raiders. Yeah, Davante got a really bad hamstring. Thank you, Davante. Thank you. You got a really bad hamstring. Yeah, he can't play this week. We got to massage it. We got to figure it out. It's sprained. We're going to do some MRI. Raiders, Davante's out. Max is going to be out. Davante's going to be out. Now Davante wants to see if the Raiders can win without him. And if Gardner can step it up with certain players and if they can win. Well, they proved they can win without Davante. Not in a good way, but it was still a close game. We could have easily lost. Now Davante's like, all right, I was testing you guys. I wanted to see how good Gardner would play, how good the team would play against the Cleveland Brown team that you guys should beat by 20 points at least, even without me. And we barely won. We got lucky. So now Davante's like, yeah, this ain't a good team. I was testing them to see how they play without me, and Gardner didn't even do better without me. They won, but barely. I don't want to play for this team anymore. We suck. We're not good. I might as well, the thoughts that I was having for the past 3 or 4 days, Yeah, I think I need to be traded. So now, today is what? Tuesday. The player's day off. So now, Davante informs the team, maybe he did it last night, I don't know, but now he officially informs the team that he would prefer to be traded. So now he showed the team that he can come up with hamstring injuries, and he possibly made business decisions last week. The writing's on the wall. Now he tells the team, I prefer to be traded. It's on you guys. The media still thinks he has a hamstring injury. A mystery hamstring injury. You got to remember that. So now he informs the team and the media on the Kay Adams show that he'd prefer to be traded. We heard about this on Sunday Night Football, where a reporter said, hey, look for speculation and talks of Davante Adams to be traded this coming week. And people are like, oh my God, the national news took that story on Sunday Night Football and ran with it. We all knew it was happening. But now it became official because Davante is always in the media's ear on the sidelines. Hey guys, this is what might be happening. So they make a national story on Sunday Night News to get the narrative that the Raiders are trading Davante. And when he has a hamstring. How evil of the Raiders. How fucking evil of the Raiders. What the hell is going on? Narratives. Now Davante Adams is on the Kay Adams show. And then Kay Adams reveals the Adam Schefter tweet that Davante would prefer to be traded. And he's like, I didn't know, man. I mean, yeah, I kind of said it. I still haven't watched the whole story. But, you know, as if he didn't have a handle in it. But here's what does me wrong when he calls himself a Raider, guys. I've explained all the details, how he did some shady shit. And I'm not going to blame the Raiders. I'm going to blame him. Because the Raiders were going to try to win with him this season until we were not officially winning. They would have waited till week 4 or 5 or 6 and hoped we were, you know, winning like 4 or 5 games by that point and that we have a shot. So they would try to keep Davante, then do the trade talks next year. But in week 4, because we're 50-50, Davante made his decisions, and the Raiders are kind of being left in the dark. Because we were still hoping to get him for a few weeks, but he quit on the team. Davante quit on the team, and he could blame it on a hamstring injury. Now they're saying it was a leg injury. We don't know what part. He quit on the team. He made business decisions. And that's what AP was talking about. So that being said, I'm really frustrated at Davante for being real fucking shady toward the Raiders and the Raider Nation. Because here's what really burns my britches, and I'm going to end with this. Then I'll tell you the teams he's going to play for. Davante Adams said he wanted to be a Raider. Well, this would have been his final home game with the Raiders. Okay? If he played. If he knew he wanted to be traded, he could have played in this game. He could have told the Raider Nation days before the game that I prefer to be traded, then go into this game and basically, for the Raider fans that love him and appreciate him, played in front of our home crowd one last time while they know the writing's on the wall. But I understand that would create a distraction for the players, and we might have ended up losing and not playing our best because all of that media distraction would have happened. So Davante didn't say anything until after a victory. Made sure we got a victory. And if we got a loss, the news would have been even better for him because we got a loss and everybody's mad at the team as well. But then if we had a loss, they would blame it because Davante was out. But because we got a victory and Jacoby Myers and all them won without him, now he mentioned that news. But basically he took away a final game in front of the Raider Nation crowd with business decisions. And if we call ourselves a family, he didn't choose family. He chose money. And he chose his mystery stuff that's going on behind the scenes. So that's a little bit shady when you really think about it. Everything he said in the media, the way he didn't practice, comes up with a hamstring injury. People, you're still wrong. He does have a hamstring. That's why he wants to be traded. And, you know, okay, no problem. You're good. I'm not the droid you're looking for. But it's a little bit shady, Davante. A little bit fucking shady. Overall, he can still play for the Raiders. The only message that I know that he said is, I prefer to be traded. But think about that. He didn't play because he doesn't want to get injured. That would mess up his trade value. Did the Raiders hold him back? Did the Raiders come up with the hamstring injury? Maybe they did. Maybe they did as well. Because they saw all that Davante was doing and talking on the sidelines, and they knew he wasn't all in. And if you're not all in, AP's like, we got to get you the fuck out of here, man. You got a hamstring injury. Let's tell the media it's a ham. Again, this could be on the Raiders. I don't know the truth. But it looks bad, in my opinion, more on Davante because of all the talking and stuff he did. But this could be on the Raiders as well. They don't want to get him injured. They know we're going to trade him. We're going to make a decision. We wanted to wait till next year, but you know what? It ain't working. We're 2-2. We're 500. Davante, you got a hamstring. You're not going to play. We don't want to get you injured. We don't want to mess up our trade value. So that being said, what can the Raiders get for him? Hopefully a first-round pick, if not more. Could it be a first-round pick and a player? I doubt that. People are going to know Davante Adams is sort of becoming a diva, has a few different issues and all that. And what are the places he's rumored to go to? Well, we all know that Aaron Rodgers is one of those places. They're coming off of a loss. Garrett Wilson ain't looking the best. Could it be a player swap for Garrett Wilson? I don't think they do that. Does Davante want to win a championship? Because if he goes to New York, he might be reunited with Derek Carr. Reunited. And it feels so good. But is that the ultimate scenario for Davante Adams to go play for? To win a championship? If that's what he wants to do to end his career. So we can speculate teams here and there, the Cowboys, other teams like that. But I'm just going to throw this out there, and this is going to crush Raider Nation. The Kansas City Chiefs just lost Rashee Rice due to an injury. The news hasn't been revealed how bad it is, and they need a star wide receiver. And they win championships every year with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Andy Reid is very familiar with Davante Adams because of coaching. We play them 2 times a year. Could the Raiders and Tom Telesco trade Davante Adams to the Kansas City Chiefs and he gets a new contract and he goes for a championship with that team, and then he can have the revenge narrative versus the Raiders, where like, the Raiders effed me. They traded Derek Carr. Now I got that revenge narrative with our star player going to the Chiefs and beating us and maybe winning a championship. Where has that happened before? Marcus Allen? You heard it here first. Kansas City Chiefs is a major destination for the Raiders to trade Davante Adams. But the Raiders wouldn't even fathom it. Would Mark Davis let them do this? I don't know. We're going to find out. But if the Raiders are making business decisions for their team, we have to listen to all offers, regardless if they're in our division, regardless if we play them 2 times a year. And we play them in what, about 4 weeks? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? That would give him enough time to be traded and maybe play his first or second game with that team versus us. And is it on prime time? Oh, shit. Is it on prime time? You heard it here first. You heard it here first. But again, if the Raiders are making business decisions like Davante's making business decisions, and the Kansas City Chiefs have the best offer, the most money, a player, or the most draft capital, Raiders have to make that trade, regardless of the public image or the optics. They got to make that trade. They got to. But then Raider Nation is going to come down crazy with vengeance and fury on the Raiders. And then Davante Adams, he will not be blamed. And then our future draft picks, if we can get a quarterback with that draft pick or whatever for trading Davante, it's always going to be compared for our history. And we sort of got a negative history. So I give this a 70% possibility. That's all I'm saying, Raider Nation. What about the Saints reuniting with Derek Carr? It could happen. It could happen. But the Saints are struggling in cap space. Look at their numbers. I don't know. Maybe Derek Carr's up in his ear saying it's a better place. You know, we're closer to God out here. And you can keep your home in Vegas, because I still got my home in Vegas. You can keep your home in Vegas. You can stay out here with me for a little while, and we can build a chemistry and maybe go for a championship. But there's no guarantee of a championship or a playoffs with Derek Carr. Let's just be honest. We all know who and what he is. But that being said, he looks decent this year, and he's throwing the rock to Shady 30 times a game. So that's a possibility. But I'm going to have to give the Saints 20% possibility. I'm going to give the Chiefs 55%. No, 50%. 50% to the Chiefs. 30%. 20% to the Saints. And 30% to the Jets. How about that? So the Chiefs are still the favorite in my book. All right, y'all. I've talked for like 40-something minutes. I appreciate y'all. God bless. Have a beautiful day. Don't let this news ruin you, because if you really thought about it, we knew this was happening. But I just wanted to mention the fact that you guys, some people are going to want to blame the Raiders. Some people are going to want to blame Davante. You can blame both. They're both complicit. But in my perspective, Davante did more shady shit this past year and a half than the Raiders did toward him. Davante did it toward us. So, sorry the Raiders fucked you, Davante. I'm sorry this had to happen out. It was fate. It was fate. I love you, Raider Nation. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed, stay Raider. And guess what? It's just another Raider season that we're all used to. We're going to love our team until we have to hate them. And then we're going to love them again the next week with positivity. Then we'll be negative again because they might have lost or done something bad. But then 3 days later, guess what? After we yell, we rant, and we rave, we're back on the Raider train, baby. Back on the Raider train. Back on the toxic relationship Raider train. Now we are Raider Nation. We are Raider Nation. We are Raider Nation. Fuck yeah. We are Raider Nation. We are Raider Nation. We are Raider Nation. Oh shit. We are Raider Nation. We are Raider Nation. We are Raider Nation for life. I love you all. And real quickly, I just wanted to mention I watched a video last night from the Black Hole, the fan chapter. Check it out. They have a thing called the Raider Victory March, where they have a whole band wearing silver and black hole outfits. They got all the costume Raider fans from the Black Hole, you know, the ones that are always in the commercials. They are like the big chapter. They got money. They fly their players out, their fans out to the games and stuff like that. And they have a victory march. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my freaking life. Where they march, I forgot, it might have been Caesars Stadium to the Allegiant Stadium. And they got their whole band, the drummers, the horns, and then they play the auto win. Burn, burn, they walk like a parade. Burn, burn, burn. I can't even do it, but you know what I'm saying. And then they got the costume raiders holding the flag, and they walk in a point, and they stop, and they go, oh, the Black Hole, oh, let's go, oh. And it's like 100 of them. And everybody gets out the ways. It's like the parting of the Red Seas. And they do that march. And they got like a conductor. Man, that was the most beautiful thing I've seen. I love that stuff. That is beautiful. My dad was a drummer. Me and my dad could only dream of seeing that Raider Victory March from the hotel to the stadium in every home game. They're doing it every home game now. So it's a big experience. It's like an event. They start inside, you know, the casino or the hotel, whatever. They start inside there and they walk through all the crowds wearing silver and black, even some Browns fans. And it was beautiful. Check it out on YouTube, the Black Hole Victory March. Find it. It's fantastic. One of my favorite things I ever seen. Hopefully, before I'm dead, I can witness that in real life and check out a Raider game at the stadium and witness that victory march. I freaking loved it. And hopefully before I die, I can see the Raiders get to a Super Bowl. But first, we got to get a quarterback and a new offensive coordinator. I'll leave it at that. Thanks for chiming in.
It's all here. We believe. Think about what I said. I will. We will. I believe. We believe. God damn it, this is what the hell we do. Let's smoke our, let's talk our, the Raiders goddamn way. Let's go.